I'm State Representative Steve Smyk, speaking to you from Lewes. Fishing and boating are key aspects of what drives our billion-dollar tourism industry, but the quality of these activities is under threat, as illustrated by the Lewes-Rehoboth Canal. Opened 100 years ago, this waterway runs from Roosevelt Inlet south to Rehoboth Bay. The northernmost 1.5 miles connects Lewes Harbor and dozens of public and private docks to the Delaware Bay. It's essentially the beating heart of the city. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has an obligation to maintain navigable waterways, but it shirked that responsibility when it comes to shallow draft ports and waterways, leaving state and local officials to pick up the slack. All along the canal there is shoaling. In Lewes, much of the problem has been in boat slips, some of which are so shallow they're unusable. In fact, the historic Overfalls lightship currently sits in mud at low tide on the canal. Conditions are worse to the south, with growing complaints of groundings. All over the state, poorly maintained waterways have become an increasingly common and troubling issue. Help is on the way. Earlier this year, I joined with State Senator Gerald Hocker and State Representatives Ron Gray and Ruth Briggs King, and of course the Speaker of the House, Pete Schwarzkopf, to pass bipartisan legislation that will generate $1.3 million annually to dredge and mark waterways. However, this is only about 1/3 of the money needed. Over the last 8 years, the Markell administration has spent tens of millions of dollars to create new walking trails and bike paths, arguing the improvements will attract employers. I believe such dollars need to be better invested. 60,000 registered boats in the state of Delaware are joined by thousands of boats brought from elsewhere every summer. Boating and fishing drives untold millions of dollars in economic activity and supports thousands of local jobs. Some recent changes in federal law have made grant money available for servicing recreational ports. Delaware needs to aggressively pursue these funds and step up to the plate to fully fund the maintenance of our waterways, protect a vital aspect of our economy, and make this issue a priority rather than an afterthought.